This webinar video contains instructions for trust applicants for the Passive Income USA Commercial Property Fund. General advice warning. This information is of a general nature only and does not take into account your objectives, financial situation or needs. You should consider the product disclosure statement issued by Plantation Capital Limited in deciding whether to acquire an interest in the Passive Income USA Commercial Property Fund. Past performance is not a guarantee of future performance, and no earnings estimates are made. Hi there, my name's Steve McKnight, and in this video webinar I'm going to be running you through how to complete the application form for the Passive Income USA Commercial Property Fund, assuming you are a trust, such as a family trust, unit trust, or even self-managed super fund. We'll be covering an introduction, followed by the sections to complete, how to get payment in, the required ID, and also the mailing address. Let's get started. Introduction. So as a trust applicant, the units are going to be issued in the name of the trustee on behalf of the trust. The distributions will be sent to the trustee on behalf of the trust, and you'll get a distribution statement. You'll also get a year-end tax statement to help you with completing the tax return. And of course, the tax implications of investing in a trust without giving you specific information are slightly more complicated than investing in an individual, because the trust will need to declare the distributions that it receives and also any realised capital gains tax when the units are redeemed in its taxation return, and then the income will be distributed out to the beneficiaries in most cases. Sections to complete. The sections you need to complete as a trust applicant, and I encourage you to pull out the form so that you can circle these sections, are Section 4, Section 5 or Section 6, depending on whether you are an individual trustee or you have a corporate trustee or a company acting as trustee, Section 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 and 17. And once again, I'd encourage you to probably pause the recording here, go and get your application form, put a circle around these sections so you know which ones to fill out. Let's get started one by one. Section 4 requires that you put an X or a tick in the sort of trust that it is applying. Either a super fund, a family trust, unit trust, or probate trust, or any other kind of other trust. The full legal name of the trust, not the trustee, the ABN of the trust, and this is important to get that accurate, and the full business name of the trustee if it is a business name instead of simply just the name of the trustee. Was this trust formed or incorporated in Australia? Most people would say yes, but if no, state the country. And question 4.4, is the trust regulated by an Australian regulator? Again, in most cases, the answer would be yes, either ASIC, ATO, or APRA. But if the answer is no, then you need to complete some more details down here below. How do you know if the fund is regulated within Australia? Well, if it was formed in Australia, it will be regulated within Australia in nearly all cases. Now, if you are not if you're an individual trustee of your trust, then you need to put in your name, your title, pardon me, Mr., Master, Miss, Ms., Doctor, etc. Your given names, your surname, your date of birth, day, month, year. The full residential address must not be a PO box, so your street address, the state, postcode, and country, and then do that also for the other trustees, attaching further information as needed. Just bear in mind, if you are an individual trustee, I will need the ID of the first mentioned trustee on this form. So fill that out very carefully. Now, if you are not an individual trustee, if you have a company acting as trustee, which is known as a corporate trustee, then instead of filling in Section 5, you fill in Section 6. You write the full legal name of the trustee, writing down the trustee's ABN, or more likely ACN in the box here. Was this corporate trustee formed or incorporated in Australia? For most people, the answer will be yes. And if so, that's all the information you need to give. If no, you need to provide more information. 6.3, the full registered address in Australia must not be a PO box, and the principal place of business must not be a PO box. And then this is where it gets slightly tricky. In 6.5, is the corporate trustee a public company? The answer for most people here will be no. Type of company, it's probably going to be a PTY Ltd company. And if it is a proprietary or private company, please provide the full name of each director. So list out the names of the directors. And then please also supply the full name and address for all beneficial owners. So a beneficial owner holding more than 25% of the issued capital in the corporate trustee. In other words, the shareholders, so beneficial owner 1, beneficial owner 2, and so on and so forth. The name, the address, suburb, state, postcode, country. Section 10 is to nominate a particular person to be the contact person, putting in, again, their address. Now, this can be a PO box, so this is their postal address or their street address if you don't have a PO box, suburb, state, postcode, country, and the contact details, so the name of the person, or the title, pardon me, Mr., Ms., Mrs., etc., their given names, surname, contact number, or ideally mobile phone number, and then writing clearly the email address. Section 11 is the investment section. The initial investment application must be a minimum of $10,000, which is why the thousands and the cents are blocked out for you. So it's a minimum of 10 or 11 or 12 because it's $1,000 increments above 10, just to avoid the complexity of odd amounts. The responsible entity will automatically reinvest your distribution as additional funds if you do not make a selection between reinvest the income and credit the bank account. So again, you either tick reinvest income or credit bank account here. If you want to reinvest the income, then you won't pay any contribution fee. Otherwise, tick if you want it paid in cash. Then you need to tell me how you're going to send the money in, via check or EFT, and I'll provide some more information about these points later on. Section 12 is the banking instructions. If you want your distributions paid as cash, you'll need to fill this in. In fact, I would encourage you as best practice to put in some kind of bank account that we can keep there in case you ask for your money back. Section 13 is the annual report section. So you need to write down whether you want to be notified by email, so you can download the annual report if you'd like to receive a printed copy, or if you don't want an email or a printed copy. All I'd say is just bear in mind, the more printed copies that we need to put out, then obviously the less of the distribution, because we have to pay for the printing of the annual report and also mailing it out to unit holders. Section 14 is put a tick if you do not want plantation capital, marketing or education material sent to you. Just be careful about that. If you say no here, I won't be able to tell you about the special seminars for people who are unit holders to learn more about the fund. And then section 16, as a trust, you would tick trust, or as a super fund, tick super fund. Write down the name of the fund and the tax file number of the fund, or if you're not giving it to me, just explain why. Section 17, now read the declaration, and depending on your choice, you need to tick whether you want signatory 1 and 2, signatory 1 only, either signatory 1 or 2, signatory 2 only, or allow other authorised signatories. And then depending on your answer, if there are 2 trustees or 2 people, whatever you want here, get them to sign, print their name, and then date it as well. Right then, payment options. Now, after having written the amount that you want to invest in here and ticking whether you want to reinvest the distribution or receive it as cash, you need to tell me whether you will be attaching a check, and if so, you need to write the check out to the name of AET Limited, ACF, which stands for as custodian for the Passive Income USA Commercial Property Fund account, application account, pardon me, and cross it not negotiable. Now, this is quite a mouthful. If you're sending a bank check and there's not enough area to write in the bank check, just do AET Limited ACF Passive Income Fund app account. Or alternatively, if you are sending EFT, so electronic funds transfer, then please put the money into the account you can see here. Again, AET Limited ACF Passive Income USA Commercial Property Fund application account. If you can't put all that in there, just write AET Limited ACF Passive Income Fund app account. And your reference needs to be your initials and your surname so that we can track it into the account, or alternatively the name of the trust. A required ID. Now, we are required by anti-money laundering laws to collect certain information in order to prove who you are. If it is an individual or individuals acting as trustee, we need the first named individual trustee's passport or driver's license. If it's a corporate trustee, then we either need the certificate of incorporation, or alternatively, make sure you note down in the application form the ACN, and I can pull the information that I need off the internet and certify it as a copy. Plus, so either if it's an individual or a corporate trustee, plus in regards to the fund, the schedule page of the fund noting down the trustee Or alternatively, if you note down the ABN of the trust, I'll be able to pull the information that I need off the internet. So the schedule page needs to have the name of the trust and the trustee, or I can grab what I need off the internet if you put down the ABN. Now, these need to be certified copies of the driver's license or passport and certificate of incorporation and schedule page. So what you do is you take a copy and bring the copy and the original to a JP, solicitor, accountant, police officer, chemist, etc., and get them to certify the copy as a true copy of the original. Where to send your application? If you are paying via EFT, complete the application. Include a printout of the EFT receipt. Include your certified copy of your ID. If you are sending a check, complete the application. Staple or pin the check to the front cover of the application form. Include your certified ID. And then send it to Plantation Capital Limited, PO Box 2193, Blackburn South, Vic 3130. If you have any questions, then please get in contact with me, Steve McKnight. You can call the office during business hours on 03 8892 3800 in Melbourne, or alternatively, you can email me at steve@PropertyInvesting.com. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it's helped you with your application. I look forward to receiving it. All the best. Bye-bye.